first of all, like everybody go to YouTube. Second of all, you get the whole album. The whole album comes out at the same time. So it's not even like the hype around like just the single to give you a taste of what the album's going to be. And then 3 months later, you get the whole, shebang or whatever. And then you have to wait for the video. So
I'm just waiting for someone to really tap into TikTok. Like, that's the way to do it. Be creative on TikTok and drop your new video on TikTok. Like, and I'm surprised no one really has done that yet.
Yeah.
Like, it literally make it in this view. Yes, it might look weird on YouTube and everywhere else. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
That's a new creative avenue.
I want TikTok.
Right, she hop on his ass.
Let me slide this piece of the conversation in.
Henny here.
20 minutes later.
Right.
We done had a whole episode. Hey, community, here's what's brewing today.
Will Smith, 5 fingers to the face.
Beyonce, period.
And the Emmett Till Bill. So get your cups ready for Minority Report.
Hey, welcome to Minority Report. It's Auntea Kerel.
Hey, y'all, it's Auntie Dawon.
And it's Auntie Jerrell.
Hey. And we did 3 hosts, but we're not at the Oscars. And we'll get to that.
Hold up.
It's like I'm Regina Hall. That's who I want to be.
Look, not Kerel over here in white and us looking like Michelle and Kelly and as backup dancers over here, bitch.
It's funny you say that. My manager said the same thing. She's like, you look just like extra happy today. I was like, it might just be a crisp white tea. That's about it. Because I'm stressed out in reality. But yeah, I normally don't wear white actually. So is it just gets too
I wonder
dirty?
why.
Oh. Yeah, those purity days long gone, girl. Long gone.
She said, eyes, man.
Ooh, honey. And speaking of marriage, shout out to my cousin Shakis and her husband Louis. That wedding was lit. I had a blast.
Congratulations. Oh yeah, that was when you went to Atlanta. That was the wedding you went for.
It was dope.
That's what's up.
And it was my first time actually meeting him in person. And I was like, oh yeah, congratulations, enjoy the journey, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I enjoy your podcast because Shakis listens to it every week. And he's like, she makes me listen to it here and there, and I like it. So I'm like, hey, thank you. I appreciate that. So shout out to him. So, hey.
Okay, welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Okay, you cool. You can stay. You can stay.
And honey, it was blackety black in that bitch. It was everything. Like we were like swag surfing. We like they was playing like some hood songs too. And like my Aunt Kim is like crazy. She out there dancing. She's like, I don't know what the hell this song is, but she's like, I'm enjoying myself. I was like, I know that's right. So
that is that black joy. That is really that black joy.
It was everywhere that way. Like that night. I was like, this is everything. I was like, I just love me some us.
Let there be any celebration that's going on. Like, you ever be in like a hotel and you hear like a wedding party is going on and you walk on over and like kind of like sneak and do a little walk just to like
we just gotta see each other for a quick second,
right? Or just any like group of black gatherings in general when people are turning up. It could be somebody party across the hall, and you're like, "Hey, go birthday, go birthday!"
Look, you ever see somebody from like across the way, like see a group of people that are just like having a good ass time, and like you vibing from them, but you all the way back, and you just kind of like.
It's literally, it's that black acknowledgement. You just gotta acknowledge that blackness and that joy and that litness.
Yes.
I live for it.
Absolutely. So shout out to you, Shakis. But before we get into the Oscars, because everybody's been asking, are the aunties going to talk about it? Hell yeah. Like, what else is there to talk about? Shit.
Right.
I'm almost talked out. Good Lord, right? Let me tell you. I'm like that Kermit the Frog gif. I just been... She been at it.
Seriously. But
I've been holding back.
Oh, go ahead.
I've been reeling back. Because I'm like, you know what? we're gonna have some time with the aunties. We're gonna unpack it all, and
absolutely.
Let's see where the conversation goes from there.
But
Bro, I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm so sorry, sis, because this ain't recording. So I can either record now or you can use Zoom. So what you want me to do?
Start recording now.
Okay, sorry, community. I'm looking at these numbers. I'm like, I'm talking loud and the mic ain't hot.
The mic is a little hot on your end. I could tell through the Zoom too.
Well, I mean, the mic is away too. She just got things to say.
She's just extra hot.
So let me just say this right now. So y'all out there, community, y'all need to go to our page and pick you up some merch because we need to get some coins in here so we can get our own DJ Envy. Okay, I'm just saying that.
Our own DJ Nice, our own DJ somebody, DJ Khaled, somebody. Another one. But you know what? Let me clap. Let's do a 1, 2, 3 clap so I could definitely make sure I aligned all this up. 1, 2, 3. There we go.
I know, but good luck. I've already been loud, so.
But before we get into the fiasco, the anti-lynching bill, the Emmett Till, I forget the appropriate name. It's like the Emmett Till Anti-Lynch Bill or something like that.
Yeah.
The anti-lynch bill version 9,000 that is taken all the way to 2022 to finally get an anti-lynching bill passed the House and the Senate for the president to sign. Finally got signed in 2022, and there were still 3 Republicans that said, "Nah, you know what? I ain't for this anti-lynching bill. Anti-lynching, I want to lynch all these hoes." So
all I heard was, "Not my niggas." That's all I heard by that vote.
I don't understand how it's taken this long. I don't understand how you are still 3 people that voted against it. Like I don't understand it at all. Like, there's no part of my being that could there's no rationale for me in my head.
There isn't.
Like,
no, you're right.
So vote the motherfuckers out. One was in Georgia, one was in Texas, and I think the other was in Kentucky. So it's 2022. It's a big election year. Vote these motherfuckers out because it's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
These midterms, I'm a little worried about them. I ain't gonna lie, y'all.
Everybody worried about him. Everybody worried about him. But you know what? We're not going to worry today.
You're right. You're right. And we're walking.
Right. Then also quickly, the Don't Say Gay bill passed in Florida. Whatever that motherfucker's name is, that governor, he could kick a whole bag of rocks and flip flops and
shoe rocks,
kick rocks, shit rocks, all the above.
Get hit with a bunch of rocks.
Like his rationale and kind of all these talking points that he's getting on TV and doing are pissing me off. Like
it's just political bullshit. It really is, because at the end of the day, there's a couple things that I believe, and I'm not a political correspondent or whatever, but I'm just going to say my piece. There's a couple things that's going on. One, I think that this is a way for him to get national exposure, even if it's negative. So because if there's an opportunity for the Republican Party to surface up some nominees, then he might then be considered because of this and getting all this exposure. And then number 2, there was just politicians love weaponizing things that people just don't understand. And so if it ain't the just be gay, it's the, the trans in the bathrooms. And if it ain't that, then it's the women's reproductive rights. And these are old tropes that they be pulling out, drugging out of the grave, every other year, because it's divisive. It gets people talking, and it's all for publicity. It's not for politics, or it's not for like policy, excuse me. It's for politics and publicity. And the unfortunate thing that it hurts so many people in the meantime. And these are the people that we fucking elect. Well, some of y'all elect. I don't, not me. But
not I,
These are the people that are elected into office to serve the public, but they end up doing more harm with these bogus ass laws that ain't. So it's just really unfortunate.
And I saw this post. Yeah, and I saw this post too that says, what happens when kids don't learn about themselves in school? They go looking elsewhere. They go looking in online chat rooms. They go looking on Twitter. They go looking at porn. They lie about their age and see things that were made for adults. And they do that because they were excluded in mainstream spaces to the point where the only place that they felt seen were French corners of the internet built not for children. So it's like doing the opposite harm. And it's so true because, I mean, I was doing that back in the day. And
look how far the internet is now today compared to when we were kids.
Absolutely.
So,
we all saw Euphoria. We know what time it is.
So it's just like they're not protecting. Their goal is not protecting children at all.
No,
like they don't give a damn about children. And like you said, it's all this publicity and this whatever hoopla that they want to create to ultimately for themselves, not even for like even their political party. The ego is so large that they're doing it solely from themselves. So,
and that's why I love that the younger generation is, you know, not afraid to also be out more too.
Yeah.
You know, knowing that 20%, 26% of that generation identify as part of the LGBTQIA plus community just says a lot.
Yes.
You know, so I see them trying to weaponize this in a way to kind of stop that level of progressiveness. But we've always been here. We've always been here. And the thing that sucks and the thing that they ain't realizing is, thanks to the internet and how communication is today, we can be seen a lot more easier. It's not as easy it is for them to silence us, you know, as it was back then. So now he's gonna suck it up. Just like that's.
And did you see that one school that like did stage a walkout, the entire school because of the bill?
Yeah, I love that.
I was like, that's the energy I love. Come on, Gen Z. Come on.
Come on, young people.
They doing it.
I was just trying to find that stat, and I wish I would have pulled it up before we started recording. But there's a statistic that's going around that's showing that because of all the things that have been happening, and you know, Jerrell, to your point about how Gen Z is like really getting mobilized, there are so many young people that are vying for congressional seats. You know, that are putting themselves out there for both local and national you know, political positions because they're just tired of the bullshit. You got people that's 88 years old. Nancy Pelosi is, you know, damn near Methuselah's age, and you know, and it's no slight, but I'm just saying, like, there are so many people that are 70 and older that, you know, have no context for what or impact, like what the real world is. They live in that political bubble. It's personal, kind of like how they were asking Ketanji, Ketanji?
Yeah, Ketanji.
Ketanji.
Yeah, you know, all those personal, like, how was your faith going to, you know, take how you feel, you know, how you do, and all this stuff. Like, well, guess what? Over half of y'all bitches are literally doing the same thing right now.
Period.
Right.
And thank God for Cory Booker, by the way. He bigged her up, and like I was like, that's why we need some more of us on these seats. Because no, y'all gonna try to tear this lady down this whole time. But guess what? I'm just the blackness. We have a way with words and hyping each other up when we need to hype each other up.
Absolutely.
And he stole the show, in my opinion. So thank you, Cory. Ketanji, thank you, boo. And we'll see you for the next 50 years on the Supreme Court.
Thank you, ma'am.
That's right.
Thank you, ma'am. I have to say though, that Cory Booker thing was a little bit self-serving as well.
Oh, it was, like, absolutely was.
So it's just like, you know, I mean,
absolutely
we know how Cory be doing. Like, you want to put himself all the way out there. You know?
Absolutely was.
I'm sure he loves seeing his face all over the internet with something positive.
You're right. You absolutely right.
We'll take it.
We'll take it.
Take all of it.
Oh man! And then I've been watching the NCAA tournament. Have you been watching it, Jerrell? I know
I have.
Probably hasn't.
She said no.
So by this time, I think Monday night will be the final. So we'll see who's the national champion. But a few days ago, we would have seen UNC versus Duke on Coach K's last season.
Let's go Duke.
Like, that's crazy. Like, the biggest rivalry in college sports
is a semifinal.
And it's going to be and it's a semifinal on his last hurrah. You couldn't have drafted that up any better. So we'll see who got really it. I don't know. It like
Duke. Duke.
So I just hope it's a good game. And
although we lost to UNC though the last time we played them though.
So they got
regular season.
Got blasted. So we'll see what happens by this point.
But you know, we show up when it matters, though.
I guess so. Why are
Although
you
I ain't go,
like? Why are you a
I ain't
Duke
like.
fan? Where's that coming from? She don't know.
I do.
Oh,
I do.
Lord.
I fucked this guy one time.
Oh,
And he was
I
real
knew
good,
it.
and it
I
just
knew it.
like
The dick was good.
we used to hang out watching basketball, and you know he was a big old Duke fan. So
Did he have a big old Duke?
next question, please.
Question. Well, that question actually leads me into the Oscars. So okay. So there's a shit, and you'll see why in a second.
Okay.
There's a shit ton to talk about the Oscars, but I'm gonna actually move someone up before even like the overall production. I put it
because she deserves
2.
it. Because
Exactly.
she deserves it.
So Beyonce. I mean, come on, come on. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Bitch, let me tell you. Fizz and I sat there. We said, "Wait, huh? What is this? She's serving." What is going on? Like that level of serve was like disrespectful. It was like disrespectful.
Beyonce. I was like, I don't care about no damn Oscars no more. I just want more Beyonce.
Let me tell you, she said we're gonna start here, and then the Oscars can fuck it up themselves, and it went all the way down here until that one incident happened that we're gonna talk about, and it went back up here, and it went right back down. So.
Beyonce looks so hella good.
First of all, she was in performing body. Like her body.
True. She was in performing body and hair.
And hair and face. Like I saw Beyonce and I said, oh, this bitch is ready to come back out.
This bitch is back.
She ain't just sitting there eating, you know, kicking it. No, body was snatched. She's ready. She is ready to come back. She's about to give us something.
Girl.
I am not ready. The world is about to stop.
I'm ready.
It makes me want to start wearing garter belts. Like, I was like, that garter belt. I was like, come on, thighs. Them
bitch,
thighs.
I've been looking for lime green. I've been looking for lime green for the last 3 days, bitch.
See.
Literally. I kid you not. I literally went on Google, lime green men's clothing. Period. I don't know where I'm going to buy it from. The only thing that popped up was Shein. But I was like...
And can we really trust Shein? Has anyone bought anything for Shein? Because that shit be popping up every single time.
Girl, I ain't. Mm-mm.
And then wait, why was Blue Ivy out there serving too?
She said
she was doing great. And that was honestly, that was not recital mode. Like no. she was straight out performing.
Yeah, she was on beat. It was everything she had been practicing.
Yeah,
10 years old. She didn't perform at the Oscars. She has a Grammy.
She has a
Grammy. Yeah, she's a Grammy and
she got writing credits already.
Damn. What we doing with our lives?
Generational wealth. Let me tell you, when I tell you I am scared of what Blue Ivy gonna be when she is adult, like I see her future and I'm just like, not the next Beyonce. I feel like she's gonna be something else. She's gonna be
I don't even
bigger than Beyonce, but I feel like her hands are going to be in everything. Yeah. She's going to be that person that can act, sing, dance, do it all. She's going to be that person that will be like an EGOT twice. Yeah. Like I can see her being someone that will have all of those things twice.
Yeah. What do you think of Dawon? You don't
I
think
could
so?
see. No, I totally believe it. I mean, she's got the skill. She has the familiar background and whatnot. I could see her doing something completely like on a different side of entertainment, like
romance novel. A romance novel. She'd be writing romance.
Come on, Fabio.
No, but like being a director or something like that. You know, like something like the next real serious director. You know, coming from a place of uninhibited from a creative, like uninhibited by some of the generational curses that a lot of Black people have had to fight through, but really coming from it, like you look at Solange and you look at how Solange approaches music and from a very artistic perspective. Now imagine that in theater, you would have like
I'm here for it.
Jordan Peele, kind of like vibes, but like on 1,000.
Yeah.
I can see it, but it was.
I can't wait to see it.
Let me tell you, like Beyonce made a tennis ball look like a whole outfit, and I was just like, I saw like the little lines and the elbows, and I was like, she thought about the details of like the white lines of a tennis ball. Like she just.
And I love like all the girls had like the
beads.
Venus and Serena beads.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all are just serving life. You sound hella good, B. She's in full voice. And did you see her Vanity Fair outfit?
Yeah.
Bitch, let me log off the internet. Beyonce's internet. Let me get off of here.
I said, ain't that somebody mama? I said, bitch.
3 times over.
Look, I know she didn't, but she came out serving and fuck them kids. Okay? Like, kids wear.
Here and here. Hips and titties. There. Because them kids got that body oddied. That thing was thinking. I said, Beyonce, what the fuck are you doing to us? I need
the Oscars did not deserve that level of performance.
Oh my god!
Like they were fortunate enough to have that. I'm sorry, that was just so uncharacteristic.
Fool in front of Beyonce.
Not them to be like Beyonce has been around for all these historical moments.
Yes, front and center.
Front and center. Look.
And by the way, did you see Kelly Rowland too? Kelly Rowland was looking fucking bomb as hell.
And that black,
honey,
I said, "Oh, girl, let me stop. Just let
Destiny's Child come back on that kind of level." Like wearing them kind of things. I don't know if Michelle want to get out the church clothes or not, but
she'd be in a church suit. She'd be in a suit, a Zendaya-esque type suit.
Okay, see, that'd be fly as hell too.
Yeah,
let them come back like that. Ooh. What would you do if Destiny's Child dropped an album next week, bitch?
Jump out this window.
Take off work.
Right, take off work. Right.
No,
I will not be working today.
No.
Say, Kerel, ain't you 38? I don't give a damn. I don't care what my age is. I ain't working today because Destiny's Child they just dropped an album.
It's a mental health day. That's what it is.
Period. Period. Honey.
I'm just sitting here thinking about just the level of maturity that they will be able to bring to an album collectively. You know what I mean? Like collectively, like the lived-in experiences that each one of them have. You know, like to be able to bring that into their artistry and the level of maturity that you already see in their separate music, you know, it's just to be able to bring that together and to collaborate and have at your disposal, you know, the top of the top in terms of producers and, you know, and sound specialists. And that's what I'm saying. Like, be at the top of the top and have access, you know, so you're not like, you know, beholden to whoever the record label has you connected with or whatever, or your friend group, but you have access to.
Because everybody would want to work with them. There wouldn't be a bigger act.
Yeah. Right.
Are you kidding me?
Right.
Oof.
Absolutely. That would dominate. That would dominate the entire year.
So Beyonce's Oscars. And you know what? And Venus and Serena look good. I will give it to Venus because Venus is very hit and miss with the fashion for me.
But the ponytail, I don't know. There was something off about the ponytail that was just like
it was very
not serving.
America.
It was not serving for me. Like I don't know if I would have liked the outfit with more of a slick straight back ponytail, given how the dress was formed to her body and the slickness of like the kind of like I don't know if it was wired or whatever. Yeah, like I would have loved more of a silk, like slick ponytail from her. Okay. But I liked her. I liked the dress on her. I thought it looks great.
You didn't like the dress, Dawon?
I mean, given what we've seen her in, I was like, you know what?
I mean, I would give it a C plus maybe. You know? But I still give both of them a little bit of a pass because of the whole, you know, like Jehovah's Witness, you know, thing, you know, working around that as a fashion handicap, you know.
I'm so done with you.
I mean,
I wouldn't just, girl.
But you might be right though, because Jehovah's Witness is different than like the Baptist church, because Baptist church was a fashion show.
Right. And like from things that they can do with their hair to, like it's a whole thing. So I kind of give a little bit of a pass to that because they didn't grow up with, just the sense of fashion, So like, so, and remember, they spent the majority of their lives on the tennis court, where that's a whole different kind of vibe.
All I'm saying is I saw the movie, so it makes sense. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, there you have it.
I'm never really looking for either one of them to like really bring it. Although I will say that Serena really looked phenomenal.
Yeah, I love that color.
She looks good.
Phenomenal.
But I have
and that Gucci salmon.
Yeah.
I have to say something though. Her face was a little too big.
Yeah.
It was a little too big. And it's been like that a couple of times.
Done. I've been wondering if she's had work done.
Honestly, that was my next thing.
Area, it feels a little too like
fillers
like too
and Botoxy.
A little something. I mean, she might not want the Jehovah's to know, but I'm just saying.
I mean, let me tell you, like, don't get me wrong. I know black don't crack, so I'm not talking about she should be looking like a certain kind of way, but
she has been in the sun for the last 30 years. I'm just saying.
Not a raisin in the sun.
Look, I'm saying I think she's been in Hollywood. I think she's been in Hollywood for a few too many years, and I think that's what we're starting to see up. She looks. Don't get me wrong. She looks amazing.
Yeah,
but
she's
looking a little frozen.
From Compton to Beverly Hills.
A little. I don't know. She's got a little Kidman in her.
We watched Serena, and let's remind. I thought about that for a second. I'm not gonna lie, but let's be honest and remind the community. We stand for Serena. We watch Serena in every single tournament. Absolutely. We talk about her all the damn time. So we know what her face looked like.
Absolutely.
Because
I wasn't sure where you was going with that, but you're right. We do know her face.
We know what her face looked like. Okay.
But also we black, so we notice everything.
and I'm gonna let the community
know that little too. A Fox.
I've met her too in person, so I know face to face what her face looks like. Okay, community. Same. I've met her, so
it's giving a A, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Do what you want to do to your body.
Do you?
Absolutely. I just thought I missed the monthly newsletter of the fan club, so I was just curious.
That's why she wasn't in Australia.
Look, maybe it'll come out in a Christmas letter. It didn't come out in a monthly, but maybe. And this year, I decided to take care of a couple little crow's feet, and a couple little whatever.
Now that the season's over, I hope I see them on the court now. I'm like, damn, okay, Oscar season's done. We knew you had the movie, so y'all didn't want to be out there on the court. You wanted to do the whole press circuit out and get dressed up. I would have too.
Yeah.
Especially your ass in Paris now. You got about 6, 7 weeks.
Her body looks good.
Her body looks good. You see them arms?
Hanging.
I said, oop, biceps.
Yep.
She ready.
So, she's taking full, I hope that she's taking full advantage, and it looks like she's taking full advantage of this time off, resting that body or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think she had,
she's the reason, that's the reason why Ash Barty retired, because
she knew Serena was back.
Yeah. She's like, that's only a matter of time. And she not as ranked as high, so I would play her like the first rounds. She just knew. You just knew that ass was about to get got. So she was like, you know what? Let me just go out on top.
All right. So now we'll talk about maybe the overall production. And so what they tried to do, and maybe too successfully, was black it up a little bit this year. And I got to shout out Will Packer. Will Packer, I thought at least made it a little more interesting than a normal Oscars. You could tell, I mean, they got DJ Nice in there. They got the 2 black conductors for the orchestra, the second half of the thing. He tried to mix it up to make it a little more about the movies and get maybe a little, at least the diversity in presenters. I mean, the nominees were still pretty white. But you could tell he tried to at least make it a little more accessible. And I felt for the most part he was kind of successful at it. Like I liked the changes that they made of the feel of the show. It wasn't as uppity. It wasn't as snooty. But
It
we
was
see
not.
it probably backfired a little bit. We got a little too comfortable.
I was just about to say, because I was about to say, you know, like I thought the hosts did great. Wanda, Regina, Amy, I thought did great.
I agree.
Amy
Wanda looked amazing, by the way. Wanda's hair?
Yeah.
I was like, I want my curls to do that shit. I was like, damn.
But you know, I ain't gonna lie, Amy said some things. I was like, ooh, shit, bitch.
Oh, Amy was like, roasting the shit out the Oscars.
She would go there.
She really did. She really did. And I loved Regina. Let me tell you, I would have patted down Jason Momoa too. Because I know that's
man,
yeah, right. And some people's like, oh, that's not acceptable.
It was acceptable
I said, girl, shut the fuck up. You know damn well.
You want to pat down Jason Momoa?
You have the opportunity.
You a lie. You is a lie. A lie.
I would have been patting.
Look, and not for them to say homegirl from who plays 007.
Who plays 007?
The old white lady in 007.
Meryl Streep.
Not Meryl Streep.
Judy Dench.
Yes, and they'd be like, "We got the Kim Kardashian gift for you."
Yeah, no, Regina,
y'all wrong.
I'm glad they let Regina be Regina. Like that's how we want to see Regina.
Yeah,
and they're like, oh well, they were just over sexualizing her and this. And I'm like, Regina was just being Regina. Like that's why we bring Regina to these events to kind of give that funny sexual moment, like you know.
And she know we miss Brenda, and she knows she gave us a little for that Brenda.
All
she
the
did.
Way. Brenda all the way.
She did. She said, some of y'all tests got lost in the mail, so can I get
and she picked some good ones too.
She sure did. I said every single one of them. And not for her to be like,
maybe not Tyler. I'm not as attracted to Tyler. I would have swapped that one in with somebody.
I'm attracted to that, so I would have been like, yeah.
Right
so you
what's
know,
up, Tyler? What's up,
hey, hallelujah,
hallelujah.
Okay,
hallelujah.
Look,
you right on that. You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. I take that back. Tyler, come on up here.
Come on through. Come on in the room.
And that Asian man from the Rings movie?
Oh, Simu Liu. Bitch.
You have it all.
Fine.
Hey, look,
it's fine. Actually, Simu Liu can
see me Lou.
See.
And he had that like his tux, his red tux was fine too.
Bitch.
I was living for. I was like, yeah, man. Living. I said,
like, that's a man more. Yeah, so she picked some good ones. Go ahead, Regina. Good. We ain't mad. And then it was funny, even the King Richard skit, and then she came out as Tammy Faye Baker. That was actually kind of funny to me too. Yeah. That whole little sketch and Amy as Spider-Man.
I always wanted to play a crazy white woman. I said, don't we all, like, girl?
Me too. And it makes me want to almost do that as a Halloween outfit. I want to be Regina Hall playing Tammy Faye Baker.
Right.
Oh man. But okay, so the production, you know, it was cool. We got Beyonce, it was cool. Fashion. What were y'all feeling about the fashion this year? Who are your top 3? Or maybe top 1?
I don't have a top of anything. I really didn't pay too much to the fashion. Okay. Like I said, Simu Liu, of the men that I got to see, I thought his red tux was just gorgeous. He looked amazing in that red tux with like the gold like little thing in between as well too, and it was fitted perfect, and it cut off at the ankles, and it didn't look too short, it didn't look too long, and just the man was sharp.
Period.
He was sharp. Like
looking like Easter Sunday. Let
me tell you, I would want to rock that, but because my ass is bigger than him, I look like Kool-Aid Man, so I ain't fucking with the man like that.
Coming through like, ooh yeah.
Okay, on everything, it would not look the same on me, but he looked good. And I forget the star's name from Euphoria. That bitch looked good. I like that denim dress that she had on.
Oh, I don't know if I saw that one denim dress.
Yes, it was like this denim fitted. The blonde trans woman from Euphoria that plays Rue's interest.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't know.
Yeah, she had like this denim, like dirty denim, like mermaid type dress on, and then she had like two like bangs that kind of went right here. She looked good. She looked good. Yeah. She served body. It was backless too.
Okay.
I was like,
let's see.
It was cute. It was real cute. It was different. It was not what you expect. It wasn't like the high glam kind of look, but it was still very just like she served.
I feel like this year wasn't like the high glam. I feel like the Oscars went a little rockerish this year.
I felt that too. There was a lot of skin, like to me, an uncomfortable amount of skin.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I like if you look at Halle and Chloe.
Oh girl, Chloe almost showed that for JJ.
They literally had like, you know, like Band-Aids and dental floss. And I'm like, I mean, it's great. It's great. And y'all 20 and I get that, but like, I don't know. And like, even like with what Serena was wearing, or not Serena, with what Venus was wearing, and even Tracy Ellis Ross, and she had like that kind of like cut off and her boobs.
I didn't like her out. And normally I like her outfits. I didn't like
hers can be a little, you know, she's got a little 70s kookiness in her or whatever. So does. She just gives me nothing but auntie vibes all the way. So like, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if she had some like, you know, some like wee brownies and like her breast or whatever. Like,
she like, you go, baby.
I was just again surprised at how much skin you know was prevalent. There was a lot of cutouts, a lot of like asymmetrical like things, bandages around it, like just a lot of skin. And you know, not approved by anything. I don't know. I'm used to the Oscars being more regal and more formal, and you know, like you just don't get to see gowns, and I feel like we didn't really see gowns on the women anyways, but what we did see was a lot of color. I loved seeing just Queen Latifah in that yellow,
even
Megan Thee Stallion
yellow too,
right. So Megan Thee Stallion in that salmon. Who else? Zoe Kravitz in that
Zoe
pink.
Kravitz was my favorite.
She was
that
stunning.
Was the old Hollywood right there. Like she gave very like almost like
Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Zoe's so pretty to me. She looked just like her mom.
She's an odd beauty.
Crazy.
She's an odd beauty, and I love that.
Yeah, I think Zoe was probably my favorite because like sometimes right when we think she's gonna go a little more kooky or rockery, she softens it up and be like, bitch, I could pull off anything. And I thought she looked fucking gorgeous. I actually didn't mind Jada's outfit. Like the
Jada's
little green with
good.
like the little
I liked her.
Almost like long it almost looked like you crumpled up some paper and kind of put it on there. Yeah, rouged it on there.
We call that rouge.
Rouge. Moulin Rouge. I didn't mind hers. I liked, and what's his name? Cody Smith McPhee. I didn't know who the hell he was, but he wore this. It's like kind of like seafoam green.
Are we calling out non-blacks?
Oh, that's the one with the big forehead. I remember him, and he was nominated.
He did have a big forehead. But I know, right? He was the only one for the males, though, that I was like, oh, I like him. Because I didn't care for what's the other dude, the white dude that had to say it with your chest.
I like, that's Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet.
That one was fine. I was like,
I actually liked that a lot.
I didn't like it.
I like
too skinny.
I felt like that was predictable from him. He's kind of been given that kind of same vibe. So I was like, I knew he was going to do something like that. You know, I want him to. He's one where I'm glad he's taking fashion risks though for the dudes, because not every guy does it. But I feel like it would be dope to just see him go old Hollywood out the blue. They'd be like, oh damn, we didn't know you could pull that off too. You know.
But don't we see enough of that though?
Yeah. But I think it would look better on him because he has more of that range. Every other dude that does like the old Hollywood, you're just like, okay, that's the same suit you don't worn the last 20 years.
if I didn't see another Tom Ford tuxedo, and I love me some Tom Ford, but it don't do nothing. Like it's just a black tuxedo. It looks like on camera, outside of the width of the leg, it looks like a suit that you can get from Men's Warehouse. So I mean, you know, like it ain't really do anything. But I do have two honorable mentions on the men's side.
Yeah.
Daniel Kaluuya
with the black and the green
was wearing the black and the green again, going back to that color, that colorway. Like that I don't even know. It wasn't quite. It was like almost emerald-esque, but it was almost on the sea foamy side of it, so it was a little bit brighter. I thought that was really, really cool. And I also liked Jay Ellis, if you got to see him from
and his black and white,
black and white with the black and white lip. Actually, the whole thing was white, and the lapel was black with a widow's
that's
peak.
dope. I like that.
And if you notice those peaks were prevalent also on David Kaluuya's suit.
Yeah.
So it's like the very
It's kind
wider,
of
kind of like older, like 1970s kind of lapel, which was really cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
mean, I didn't. Yeah, because his was cute too. Like I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
I didn't care for hers outfit. Hers kind of swallowed her whole. But it was still that kind of lime green, those bright colors.
Yeah.
So I like the color on her. I don't think I cared for the like cut of it for her, but I mean, hers gorgeous nonetheless. So I mean, who am I kidding?
I forgot Zendaya looked.
Oh yeah, Zendaya.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
100. She
forgot.
She
served.
She could put on somebody else's toenail and still look like
given face.
Not a toenail.
Like she'll be right here.
Like, is that somebody's toenail? Bitch, you look good. No, there's nothing like I don't think I've ever seen her not look good.
And what's crazy is like you compare what she looks like on these like red carpets, like even when she was doing the thing for like Spider-Man and blah blah blah, you'd see her on these red carpets, and then you see her in like Euphoria looking strung out. It's like how? Because even Halle Berry, who is just gorgeous, when she was in Monsters Ball, she still looked like Halle Berry.
Right, you're like, you still Halle Berry, girl.
Right. But she was doing the things with her titties all out and shit like that. I was
Made me feel good. Made me feel good. It's like, damn, you Halle Berry.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe this.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
I will say, I forgot to say, I also liked Ariana DeBois as well, too.
Yeah.
Like, I like.
Yeah. She went back with the early 90s haircut, too. She went back with the Halle Berry.
Yeah.
And the Mia Long. And shout out to her. Her speech was dope. And that's the sad thing is like there was actually some very good moments of just diversity. Like the deaf guy, what's his name, right? Troy Coster or something like that winning.
Yeah.
Incredible moment. So there was some really dope moments before the craziness ensued that unfortunately are going to get overlooked in the history of time, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's just like for her to win, and she's like of Latina descent, she's literally the second one to win that big of a category. And the last one was for the same movie 60 years ago when Rita won it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's sad that there's like not more diversity and more diverse roles for Latina women. Like you got to win an Oscar twice for the same damn role. Like that's crazy. 60 years apart. So there's some work that needs to still be done out there.
I mean, like I loved her speech. And I also love that, like, the hosts were like, and for you, those of you who live in Florida, this is going to be a gay Oscars. Right. Gay. I love that moment. And that's what made me love her speech even more.
And I like that moment, too, when the host said they got 3 women because they couldn't afford to pay 1 man or something like that. Yeah. And I was like, come on, say a word. Right. So I was like, and so that's another thing, like, all these cool moments are going to be overshadowed. And so
I don't think so. I think they're overshadowed for now.
And then over time we'll get back to what we need to care about.
Right, exactly. Like people, because at the end of the day, those who won those Oscars, those moments are going to be forever. Like that's just how they are. Yeah. But I mean, let's be honest, when it comes to the Oscars, how many memorable moments are there to begin with? Each year at the Oscars. Not much. What do you remember about the last year's Oscars? Only thing I remember is her winning her Oscar. That's it.
I remember her and the older Asian lady. I remember those 2 moments.
That's it. But I mean, like, but each year at the Oscars, you really don't remember much. I can even tell you the fashion from last year's Oscars.
Oh, I remember that because it was Regina King hosted it, didn't she? I think Regina King and
No, this is the first time they've actually had a host in 3 years. They haven't had an official host in 3 years. This is the first time they've had an official host. They've had people who have like gone up, but it's been a minute since they've had a host.
What was the one last year where what was her name?
Yeah, last year was no host.
Maybe it was 2 years ago then. I don't know. Who cares?
Because what's his name was supposed to host, I think last year. What was his name? Kevin Hart. And the whole thing.
A few years ago.
That was a couple of years ago.
That was a couple of years ago. Anyways, I mean, it's been a minute since they've had a host.
No, you're right.
Honestly,
memorable moments. You're right.
And just real talk, ain't nobody watching the Oscars like that. Like,
I mean, absolutely.
Let's be for real.
I don't know. I kind of do. I kind of look forward to it every year in a weird way.
Do you really?
I do. Like every year. I'm watching every year. Probably. Probably.
Right. I'd rather watch Judge Judy.
So now let's get to the matter at hand, the slappity slap. And so we're going to kind of break these down even into different kind of moments. First, did you see it live? So you guys weren't watching it live, were you? No,
I didn't see it live.
I had a 20-minute delay because I was watching it pre-recorded. By the time it got there,
it had already blown up.
It had, but I wasn't on social media. His face had just been back for 24 hours, so
she was getting it in.
She probably came out for air.
She was hydrating. She was hydrating.
Right.
We were like spam, just trying to watch something on TV. So like hadn't been on my phone or anything like that, and so we were sitting there watching. We were like, did that just happen?
Yeah.
And then like I noticed the moment where the sound cut off, and I was like, that's odd. And then I saw the skip, and I was like,
oh, that wasn't
something actually happening. I was like, something actually happened.
Yeah.
Because they are talking, and that there is no audio. And then that's when I went on Twitter and I saw
it blowing up.
And I was like, everything on Twitter.
Honey.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. Because like Corey had just went up to bed. We were sitting there, laying there watching it. And Corey's like, okay, this is boring. He's like, I'm going to bed. And literally not 5 minutes later, I'm laying on the couch and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What just happened? Then I was like, oh my God. It's literally my honest reaction is what I put on the story. I was just like, oh my God, am I the only one that's seeing this right now? Like, what is going on? And then again, you go on Twitter and it's just starting. And then I saw the feed of the live audio and I was like, damn. Yeah. I was like, that's for real. And so let's talk about the internet reaction first. Let's talk about that first. And we'll get to like the deeper stuff of it. But once again, the internet won. The internet won. The internet's
bitch. When you posted that, Franzia, wait. No, I think Dawon's correct. I think we need to talk about it first before we talk about
you want to talk about the slap for the deeper meaning?
I think we need to talk. Yeah.
So obviously, like we've had a few days to kind of think about it and rest on it and see all the apologies and all the dissecting of it and things like that. But in the immediateness of it, my first thought was like, oh my God, Will this entire time on this Will Smith book tour was talking about how he's been so traumatized by his mom getting beat up and not protecting her. And now he fast forward to 50 whatever years later, he had the opposite reaction. Like the whole, the pendulum swung the other way and he had to prove that he wasn't a punk in this thing. And it triggered him. He's been getting all these jokes, especially all night, because they were kind of doing some jokes all night against them. And I was like, well, that was finally the straw that broke the camel's back that triggered him, and he wanted to prove he wasn't no punk tonight.
I mean, so they say.
They say.
I think one of the things that struck me when I watched it initially, and even still, I'm trying to like unpack this, is that we've been so used to content creators and people who are, and we have such visibility now to like stunts. Like we look at, Jussie Smollett, we love.
He slapped me too.
That's it. Right. But like, we're so used to people pulling stunts, publicity stunts. So like when I first watched it, my immediate reaction is, oh, this was planned for da 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 da. And
Right.
even looking at other people in the audience, like they were just like, wait, is this a bit or is this a real thing? And then you start dissecting the actual slapation, you know, and like
and this dancery. Mm-hmm.
like, and then you start to like wonder, like, well, wait a minute, was this for real, or was this just like a stage thing? Because it just seems so
Far-fetched,
bizarre.
Yeah,
It seems so like, you know, he literally walked up there like in slow motion. So I'm like, oh, well, what's this gonna be? He's gonna like, you know, do a little like, you know,
Will Smith
let's
moment.
get jiggy with it,
Yeah.
you know, whatever,
Yeah.
you know. And then he really got jiggy with it, and then he did what black man open palm smacks another black man in the face?
I honestly think he had a slight moment of hesitation because like he got up there and like when he kind of cocked back, it was like a slight moment, and I think he opened it because I think if he like I think he in that moment had a moment of saying, "Oh shit, I've gone too far, but I'm up here now, I'm swinging. Let me open this hand up right quick." I genuinely think he probably thought about that in that split of a second.
You
But
think
he's
so?
like, I can't look like no punk. Because I think this is what happened too. Because like he started chuckling. It was probably one of those little like courteous chuckles. Okay, I gotta laugh this one off too. But then he looked at Jada, and Jada did that eye roll and was like, "Fuck this motherfucker." And so I think that's the moment that triggered him. That said, "Oh shit, I have to do something. I don't know what to do. Oh, the only thing I know to do is to hit somebody. Oh shit, I did it. It's too late."
But then he went like, and then he just sauntered back to his seat, sat down like an old man.
Will Smith said, "I'm rich enough now."
Like,
Yeah.
I was just like, this is
It was
weird.
It was bizarre to see it live because on US TV it was muted. So you're just like, and like you're trying to read the lips, and you're like, hold on, he might be big mad. And then when Chris Rock starts stumbling over his words to try to like figure out what to do next, then I was like, oh shit, this is real. And I was like, oh shit, oh my God. And so that's when I started thinking, I'm like, he said, I'm from West Philadelphia, born and raised. Oh shit, he been on this whole press tour talking about like how he's been traumatized by his dad beating up his mom and how he didn't step in then. Oh shit, he done stepped in now and with the completely polar opposite, you know? And it kind of shows too, in a way, as much as we try to heal ourselves, as much as we try to do the work, sometimes those triggers are strong enough and you literally resort back to the kid in you reactions, you know? And it's wild how that can happen. And I'm not condoning it one way or the other. I'm just saying it's interesting, especially someone like a Will Smith. Like everyone kind of holds him at this high regard and, oh, he's a comedian and oh, he's so funny and oh, he's so nice. He wouldn't do this. And I've had, and let me even backtrack, white friends, stay out of this. Don't call me no more. Because it's so deeper than just that moment. And I think the Black community realizes that. And I think the understanding and the history of just the layers of it, the Black community understands, unfortunately, probably too, around it. And this whole, you better stand up for me if we in love kind of thing. And so for the white people saying, "Oh, he's so violent," and I can't. This ain't your rodeo. Go sit down right quick because
go cry about Florida. Y'all cry about Florida. How about that, Jerrell? You've been kind of quiet.
It sure has.
Because when I tell y'all, I got so much to say about this. Like it don't even make no sense.
Come on now.
Like, all right, let me start.
That's what podcasts are for.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I understand protecting you and yours. Like, I mean, that's who I am. Like, my patience and my tolerance for people disrespecting me goes a lot further than it does when people are disrespecting the people that I love. Right. Period. I will let you say what you got to say. Hi, I can for the most part, let shit go. That's a lie. I can do better at letting shit go when it comes to me.
Hashtag never let it go.
Right. But when it comes to my family, my friends, the people that I love, it's a no. You just don't go there. You just don't go there. And anyone that knows me knows that you tell me you bothered, oh, I'm stepping in. You like, that's just how I am.
Yeah.
So I understand standing up for those that you love. I also understand, however, though, that at the end of the day, had he not said what he said, the whole situation never would have happened. And I hate the fact that so many people are caught up on him slapping him that no one's understanding that the catalyst was the fucking joke.
Yeah.
And if you think further back to his dig at him at 2016 when he made the joke about like, just almost like he didn't get
invited to the Oscars so white.
Yeah, but it's almost like saying that he didn't get invited to like Rihanna's panties or some shit like that. Like it was like when she was like, you know, boycotting the Oscars.
Yep.
So you have that. You also have the fact that he had this whole movie called Good Hair that I watched and I love, and I actually still have the fucking DVD sitting in my cabinet as well because I thought it was a great look into Black people hair, specifically women, and you know just how much it is ingrained into a Black woman's identity. And it's not about whether or not you know she had alopecia or not. It's about the fact that what you don't do is talk about a Black woman's hair. Everyone knows the bald heady, scatty wag. Your mama can't touch. Kids were fighting in the fucking playground all the damn time about talking about a Black woman being bald headed. Yeah. Shut the fuck up if you can't understand from there, that point alone, what you don't do is talk about a Black woman hair. And then since then, we've had people like NDRE who cut her hair off, and that was a whole thing. And she had to come out with a song talking about I am not my hair because of the fact that we still can't. You think about how people losing their jobs because they can't wear their hair a certain kind of way, etc. like that. I don't want to hear the excuse about not understanding what you don't do is disrespect a Black woman when it comes to her hair. There is so much identity and like intertwined into a Black woman when it comes to their hair. The number one thing you hear is like, I gotta get my hair done. Do you know a good braid lady? Like, it's no. So understanding what the fact of being that he didn't know she had alopecia or not, you just don't. I get that he didn't write the joke. But as a Black person, you know what we don't do is come for each other on that level. There are certain things you joke about, but when you cross that line, you only do it with people who you fucking know. You don't do that to Black folks you ain't close with.
See, and I struggle because I 1000% agree. But then it's like on the flip side, it's like we know what Chris Rock has said so many foul shits over time because he's, you know, and right, wrong, or indifferent. And so that's the part where I'm just like, that's what he was there to do. And it doesn't justify it. It doesn't make it right, whatever. But it's just like, it's just interesting in that moment.
Play stupid games, you get stupid. Play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. Like, if that's what you're there to do, well, guess what? That's what you're gonna get. Like, don't sit there and make the excuse like, oh, well, I'm a comedian. I hate the identity that I hate the idea that people can hide behind being a comedian, because we all know and we've all learned when we're children that words have meaning, they have power. And what you don't get to do is avoid that because you're saying I'm a comedian so I can say whatever the fuck I want to say. That is not how it goes. It's not how it goes, comedian or not, because at the end of the day, the people that you are talking to, you making fun of, have feelings, and those feelings are valid. Period.
For sure.
Joke or not,
sure.
You know. So when you do that, you risk crossing the line of getting your ass whooped.
But I think what I'm saying, and we kind of said this is kind of the same kind of debate we had with Dave Chappelle before too. But I think Chris Rock
same
knows
thing,
that.
same.
Like he knows it's his career, so I think he's willing to take that risk. So I don't think Chris Rock is complaining even about the slap, or he would have filed charges.
Yeah,
you know. So like,
well, and I guess that's my argument to other people. That's my argument to other people.
Absolutely,
like not understanding that part.
Right. So like, was it a lame joke? It was a lame joke. It really was, because I agree. Like, especially in the Black community, we know the layers around hair. Black, like for men and women, and it's 20 billion times more for women. So I completely agree.
I had on right now because my edges ain't done. I ain't got a lineup.
I mean, like I said it in last episode before all this came up, how I literally has chopped my hair and the style that I had because I'm going into a new office, and that whole dynamic and of white folks not understanding potentially the hairstyle that I had before that. So I completely understand that. But part of me too is just like, as Will Smith, even as a jokester and a comedian and things like that, who has said some things that are like off color and shouldn't have been joked about. It's just interesting in that moment. That's what broke the camel's back. And again, you never know what people are going through.
Yes.
Because like he's been in a relationship with her and has probably seen her cry over it and the discomfort and the insecurities. So that's what all kind of came rising up. Absolutely. But here's the thing, is just like, I'm sure in his mind, he's like, damn, I thought my triggers and my reactions to these triggers, I was at a place in my life that I could better control that. Because here's the sucky thing is, like within the Black community, like you were saying, like, and you were kind of hinting to it, Jerrell, like there's certain jokes that will make you want to fight and things like that. But we do it in our community and we can know how to navigate all that shit. He did it in an environment where it's predominantly white and now it's kind of just set each other up to fail. That's the sucky part of it. It's just like, even if he didn't write the joke and things like that, it might have been a moment like, ooh, that I don't want to do that on tonight because Will might be like, if I was that comedian, I'd be like, you know what, tonight I'm not going to do that because I feel like he's going to win the Oscar, and that might just make it a little like off color. That's not what tonight's about. Let's joke about.
That's my other point. You know? That's the thing.
So he had an opportunity to do that. The Chris Rock to do a different kind of joke, but then it's just like, who am I to tell people how to do their job? Like,
or he could have just ran it by Will and Jada beforehand, like a lot of people do, especially on a night where he's up for, just to say, hey, you know, I just want to like, because you know, part of the shock and awe is for the rest of the audience. You don't need the people that are involved, you know, to be off guard, because then you run the risk of getting
the trigger.
And look, let there be another comedian coming up on the Oscars or any other show making some funny ha-has about people in the audience, and they look out there and see Jason Momoa like gripping on the seats, you know.
I'm like, ooh, take me, Jason, take me. Get me, boo, get me.
You fall back and your legs go up.
Smack me all you want to.
But I will say one thing. I say one thing about the whole situation that also bothers me, and you kind of talked about it a little bit, Kerel, when you mentioned about being in a predominantly white space. I hate the fact that we're also not having the conversation that like Black people, Black men, especially in this situation, aren't given the chance to be human. The fact being that we're talking about like when you're around white people, you're not supposed to act like this. Y'all are setting us back, etc. Like, I'm like, but what you're saying is they can't be themselves. We still at the end of the day have to think about what's acceptable to white people and how white people are going to see us. And I really hate that conversation in this situation, because what we see is two people, well, one person in particular who it seems is going through something, and it has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with race. But there are other Black folks talking about he shouldn't have done that because now white people are going to be looking at it for something like, why are you worried about a white person where you're not worried about someone that looked like you? You're not worried about helping someone, your brother that looks just like you. Right, for real. And that whole conversation pisses me the fuck off.
Period.
It pisses me off. And I understand, like, violence is not the answer. Yes, we can do better. Absolutely. But when we're going through in those situations, the response isn't do better. The response is, how can I help? Are you okay? And I hate the fact that people are like, well, violence isn't the answer, and he should not have done that. And it's like, but you're not providing an alternative to the solution.
Right.
You're not providing constructive feedback for someone to grow and be better, so that way they don't do that again.
Right.
So if violence is the answer, then give an answer that's actually productive and helpful for this person that's going.
And shout out to Denzel too, because Denzel was that uncle. The uncle would be like, "Hold on now, Playboy. That ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't it. Let's brush you off right quick, but Playboy, that ain't it."
I feel like Will has played the role of Black Yoda for so damn long. You know, he's been out there all zen and this and kumbaya this, and yeah, my wife there's an entanglement, but you know, we evolved human beings. And then I think in that moment he had a moment of weakness, and he just became a human. And in my eyes, you know, like, listen, there's a lot of wrong that can go around that situation. I think at the end of the day, people will be people, and you know, it's not like he didn't recognize his own lack of civility, even in the moment, you know, and well, not in the moment, but shortly after the moment, when, you know, all the endorphins ran off or whatever. But, you know, so I feel like what we can learn from this, what we can all learn from this, is that a couple things, you know. One, watch what you say out your fucking mouth. Right, exactly. If you learn nothing else, because you run the risk of getting open palm face slapped or something worse, you know, you just got to be ready for that. And it's not to say that it's justifiable, but, you know,
that might be someone's response.
It's one of those things where, like, you know, we have freedom of speech in the United States, so you can say what you want, but we also have the freedom to act. Now, acting has consequences for you and them. So if you say something slick out of your mouth and you get popped in the mouth, just like we all did when we was kids, because if you say something slick out your mouth, be in the car and your mama driving, and you say something slick out of your...
And see, that's your
mama in the choir stand and give you that eye.
Right.
You out there and be like, oh man, I'm gonna get it.
And that's my thing with the internet right now, is I feel like the internet and social media has allowed, or has got people thinking that they can say whatever the fuck they want to say. But our community now, say it if you want to.
You might run
say it if you want to.
Say one more time.
We know this. We know this. But I feel like a lot of other people don't understand that we don't give a fuck. Because
they found out on the hour.
Because knock if you buck. Like, let's go.
Just like all them white people found out eventually that Beyonce was Black. And then lost their damn minds.
And still losing their damn minds.
Too. Will Smith Black too. And so it's always
Chris Rock.
Like all
welcome
these
to the Black Oscars. We thought we was at the BET Awards.
Nope. Source Awards.
We thought we was at the Source Awards. Is this the Soul Train Awards? Which awards is this?
And look, don't let Suge Knight come out.
Honey.
It's over.
But like, and it's interesting because like my natural reaction is not to fight. Like, I'm not about to be hit. Like, I got to get to such a point for that to be my only option. But so like in that moment, if I'm looking at like Corey and he's feeling some kind of way that like I feel disrespected, I'm gonna get that mic and make your ass look so small in front of this whole auditorium and all 100 million people watching across the world that your ass ain't gonna get hired no more. It's a wrap. I'm a make you feel so small. But for Will Smith, that was his natural reaction. Was the only thing I know to do right now is to make you feel small, is to smack the shit out you. And right, wrong, indifferent, we all have, unfortunately, some maybe negative reaction that isn't our all day, every day. Isn't all, you know, like, we're not trying to just be smacking people for no damn reason, but we felt disrespected. And our natural reaction is to react some kind of way, whether it be verbally, physically, whatever it may be.
Fight or flight.
Exactly. It was a fight or flight moment for him. And that's the part that
he chose violence.
and he chose violence. And now there's going to be repercussions of it now because people are talking about taking the Oscar away. People are talking about I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm just saying this is what people are saying. And so, but here's the thing: if it happens, he's going to have to live with that because he did it.
Yeah.
And that sucks. And
you can see in the acceptance speech that he it started to come together. Like,
absolutely,
you can see he was just like,
he's like, damn,
this might be the last time.
But you know what? It didn't show at that after party.
Honey, he was getting jiggy with it. I was like, this bitch. He was back in the entertainer mode. He's like, no.
Hey, but you know what? But it makes sense because you know, like us. But you know, like you ever fuck up so bad and you just be like, fuck it, and you just live with it. You just gotta live exactly, and that's exactly what that was. He was like, I can't undo it, so I can either just enjoy this moment because it may be the last, or I can let it consume me, and that's it. And I'm glad that he chose to continue to enjoy it and worried about it the next day. I'm like to take that time and be like, you know what?
And it sucks that no one's talking about Jada. And I saw one thing, and I think about him with Marvin because he had a whole conversation with Black women on his page on IG off of it, and he ended up posting something that's just like, because a lot of the dialogue is around the what love looks like to a person, and for some people, violence, like, yeah, you better pop off, you better smack them, and that means I'm being loved. And and so I was like, that's quite interesting. And we've all kind of seen it. We've kind of heard it all the time, especially in the Black community for that. But he was like, the one thing we're not asking is asking Jada, how does she want to be loved? Is that the reaction she wants to prove that you love her, to stand up for her? Maybe she wanted violence. It's like, bitch, yeah, and gave him that kitty that night. It was like, yeah, Playboy.
Look, I was like, I knew. Look, he probably tore that dress off a minute. Let me not even slip the panties to the side. Rip that shit off. Rip that shit off. Upside down. Let's tear down all the chandeliers.
Right. But I thought that was an interesting question because out of all of this, a lot of women were disrespected. Jada was disrespected. Wanda, Regina, and Amy were disrespected.
When you say they were disrespect because of what?
Either the joke, the reaction.
Okay, so you're the cumulative.
The cumulative action.
Got it. Okay.
Now the overshadowing, where you had 3 women hosts of it. You had a queer woman win an actress. You know, so many people got disrespected for this lame joke and this trigger reaction. And no one's really talking more about them. They're still talking a lot more about Will and Chris than even Jada. You know, Jada's the one that got this lame joke.
But I'm going to say this. I'm going to keep it 100. I'm going to keep it absolutely 100. Yeah. The reality of the fact is, I would not be thinking about nearly as much of that. We would not be talking about the Oscars as much as we're talking about it if that nigga didn't get slapped. Period.
No, it's true.
Period. We wouldn't be talking about the people who are overcasted or overshadowed because of this instance. We would not be saying that was the best award show ever, or we're so glad this happened. It would have been something that happened and we would have forgot about, and that would have been it.
But I think on the flip side of that is just like it hasn't even provided an opportunity to potentially talk about it more than the slap. Because if the slap didn't happen, this is what we would have said, like, yeah, Will finally won the Oscar. Cool. We'd be like, oh, damn, it was dope to see Wanda and Regina up there as Black women. Cool.
We said that.
Would have been cool for queer. And it probably would have been a little longer conversations. But now it's almost like an obligation to be like, okay, let's hit on that right quick, but let's talk about the slap for the last 50 minutes.
I don't think so. I don't think it was that. I don't think it was that groundbreaking, that wowing, because of the fact that, again, the Oscars was boring. Like all the stuff that was happening before it.
With Will Packer doing it, I thought this would be the narrative. Would be like, wow,
I'm not saying
more doors for Will Packer.
I wasn't going to say. Like I didn't say diversity. I'm not talking about diversity.
No, I get that.
Or
I'm
like
just saying, I thought the show was better than it has been in a few years.
And I didn't.
I know.
I didn't like that level. I thought it was still boring. It wasn't as entertaining as it used to be. Yes, there were more diversity. Huh?
You said as it used to be more entertaining?
No, like back in the 90s and when I was younger, like I didn't think I I was not into it as I used to be
okay.
into the Oscars. Like there was just nothing wowing. Like literally Beyonce started and it was up here and it was just downhill from there. Not saying that cool things didn't happen.
Right.
But what I'm saying, like, there was nothing wow about the Oscars outside of Beyonce and that slap, period. Like those were the two, boom. Like, and we talked about the fashion as well. The fashion wasn't all that either. Like
I think we can all agree that that incident was, was unfortunate on many levels.
Yeah.
I think that the positive out of that particular incident is that it's opened the door for much bigger conversations to be had.
Definitely.
What does trauma look like? Inflicting trauma on people through the use of words. And it couldn't, not necessarily saying Jada, but it could have been somebody else in the audience that's dealing with something that may have been grossly offended by what happened. Inflicting, physical harm on somebody and having that be a reaction, having that be a response, in the moment. I think even the Oscar, production company handled that really poorly, because after something like that happened, which I have to assume that if this was not staged, then they were too looking at like, what the hell just happened? And instead of escorting
Will
Smith out of there for assaulting somebody on stage, because this was not an approved moment, right? It wasn't planned, let's put it that way. Then they've exacerbated a situation that he could have gotten up and done something again. So like I feel like it and the conversation that we're having and that's been swirling for the last week by the time this airs, it's much broader. I think people focus on the slap, and what I'm pleased to see is that the focusing on the slap has opened the door for broader conversations around, how we treat one another, how do we demonstrate self-control, how do we take ownership of when we do something wrong on both ends of this, on all ends of the spectrum, right? And I hope that we don't over-inflex on penalizing Will Smith. There's something wrong, so I'm sure there'll be repercussions, but like, this is, in my opinion, it's not a cancel moment. This is not an over-inflex moment. This is an opportunity for us to have bigger, broader conversations. What does toxic masculinity look like? What does mental health look like? How does self-control play a role? How does our perceptions of people in the public eye and viewing them as non-human?
Why does it take for a Black man to have a moment for people to give a fuck? I just hate it. Like there are other people in there, but it's not just George Washington though. Like this is the conversation. Like it's just,
that's how
there are other people, but there are other people in Hollywood, specifically white male actors and stuff like that, that have been going through shit and saying shit and get off scotch-free. You don't hear anything about them. But guess what? Bill Cosby do something, and all of Hollywood want to talk about Bill Cosby, but they ain't talking about all the other people that have done some shit. They ain't talking about all the other white men in Hollywood that have done some shit. But no, they want to wait until a Black man does something to then want to talk about, well, how do we help someone? Why do we always got to be the only fucked up one?
Clint Eastwood had to be held back because there was and I forget what her name was, but there was a Native American woman, that was on the stage and asking for more, diversity and specifically to stop portraying Native American individuals in that quote unquote savage kind of way. And the crowd was all white or whatever, mostly white, just like it is today, booing and hissing or whatever. And Clint Eastwood, basically had to be held back from storming the stage to attack this woman. So like, and look at Mel Gibson. Look at
Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein. But that's my point. I just hate the idea that Will Smith now has to be the conversation or the catalyst for this conversation when there were other moments in Hollywood that have happened before where we could have been having these conversations.
Well,
And
that's
I
the
hate
opportunity.
I hate that it's on Black folks. I hate that it's on us to be like, well, guess what? We humans too. Like, you know, or use Black people as the guinea pigs to want to care about shit.
And
I just hate that.
And I hate people saying the black on black violence thing again. I'm like, I'm like, why is
Karen.
that right? Why is that the easy
Karen.
go to? That's not what this is. This is just two humans caught up with emotions, you know. But I got a question for you too, though.
Shit.
If you was the one that got slapped like that,
being an ass.
Like, what would have been your reaction?
So that's my only thing that makes me think that it was staged,
right?
Because of the fact that I literally go, nigga, where are your reflexes at?
Oh, huh?
You saw some, like,
but it's Will Smith.
All,
you never thought Will Smith was going to smack the shit out you like that.
And it's Chris Rock. Chris Rock ain't fighting nobody because.
But that's my point. If you a real one and you've been in a fight, you know when someone is about to give you a handshake and when someone throwing hands.
Look,
ain't no handshake come from down here or up here that's been positive.
No.
Period.
Chris Rock said, "I'm at the Oscars. I'm safe tonight."
It ain't coming above your head. If it ain't coming above your head or from your chest, like a dap, like if you ain't going up, if you is not going up and down like this, any other fucking angle is fight mode.
Look, he said Will Smith about to win this Oscar. I'm safe tonight. Like we ain't doing no shit tonight.
No.
I would have loved to see. I would have loved to see Samuel L. Jackson be the one giving that joke and see what had happened. Because then you would have saw a fight.
Nah, because I feel like Samuel Jackson would have called the camera like, why the fuck you got me saying this?
Sam Jackson dapped Will up when he won real quick.
Real quick.
I wanted to punch that nigga too.
Exactly. Like, bro, I feel you. That's what he said. He said, "Hey."
Sam Jackson, I've been wanting to fight that nigga too. But Chris Rock's sales have gone up for his tour. Like
my cousin bought a ticket. She was like, he gonna change his whole set. I already knew,
and I want to watch too.
But going back real quick, going back to what you were asking, Jerrell, around why I got to take a Black man. I think at the end of the day, that's just how this country is. Like it's always win, unfortunately, because it's a way for our country to knock down that uppity nigga. That's exactly what it is. That's the trope. What it is. But what I would say is, when we're having and out there to the community, when you're out there having conversations with people and they start taking it there, then you remind them of the other people, because let's not use Will Smith as the poster child for domestic abuse, in the public space, or the only person. Look at all the people that have acted, like unwieldy with others. And let's have that conversation.
Or even just a simple conversation of like, why does it also have to be him that can't act like that? When we've seen this happen across the board in other situations as well. Like,
I feel bad for Questlove though. Like, that was his category. And Questlove has been wanting this award. Like, he's been campaigning for this award.
And his mama was there too.
His mama was there. Yeah. And they both from Philly. Damn.
But I feel they from Philly, so they understood this.
He understood. He's like, you're right. But damn, that's all I thought. I was like,
I gotta be real. I have to be 100% honest. The only reason why I cared about that next category because nigga won. Because Questlove won. I didn't care about but I didn't care about that category. Is the point that I'm making. It wasn't it wasn't one of those categories where people are like, I'm listening for this. Like I know everything that's happening. It wasn't one of those categories.
Okay. But an Oscar's still an Oscar.
An Oscar is definitely still an Oscar.
And guess what? And he got an Oscar.
Yeah, and he
got that work in. Yeah. So I watched this interview because obviously he's on the Tonight Show, but Jimmy Fallon interviewed him, and he was just asking him like that whole just like moment, and he was like, honestly, he's like he does meditation all the time, so he's like, I was like in this meditative state that like I didn't even realize they were really calling my name, and so he's like, and then it was obviously me in this meditative state. The fiasco that happened immediately before, he's like, it was like an out of body experience. And he's like, and then I'm there with my mom. He's like, I still enjoyed the moment, but he's like, it was just so out of body that I don't know if I don't even know what I don't know kind of thing. Yeah. And it kind of sucks because it's just like, it makes you think, would he have remembered more if that fiasco didn't happen right before that had to put him in a meditative state that, you know, like it's these kind of things. But I mean, it happened and you got to deal with the cards you're dealt. But I was like, damn,
I mean, that shit recorded, so he can watch it on. He can watch it on replay.
You good?
You know, he got that on the DVR at home.
Right. Somebody already got them in the bootleg.
He was like, he's like, I don't want to see. He's like, I don't want to be that guy. Be like, hey, look at me at the Oscars. He's like, that old man. Like, oh, you see me walking down the aisle? Let me show you again.
Yeah. And he'll be invited back next year because what they do is the people who won the categories the previous year before.
And he got to DJ the Gold Party for Beyonce and Jay-Z. So I mean, that's the real. That's the real prize.
That's the real win right there. Yeah.
One day we gonna go to that party, y'all. I'm putting that out there now.
I know we are. I'm
putting that out there now.
I know we.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah. I know.
And I'm be out there. Just real nigga shit. You know that party lit as hell.
You know it is.
That party lit as hell.
You know it is.
That's the ticket that you want.
That's like it's almost bigger than like the vanity ticket now. Like that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. So yeah, one of these days, Yo AunTeas be out there. But yeah, so I guess now some of your favorite memes, and then we'll get out of here. You said the Franzia bag, Jerrell.
Bitch, let me tell you, when you posted that on the story, bitch, I just about threw my phone. Just about fucking threw my phone. Slap the bag, bitch. I said, and literally, and when I tell you the amount of people who responded on my story too, because I reshared it. Black, white, all different people. Everyone was
Everybody
like,
know it. That's the winner.
Not college, bitch. Not college. They were fell out on the fucking oh Lord. That one took me out, and then the SpongeBob one took me out as well.
People are just too talented for they damn good. Like, social media, because we would have never seen none of this without social media.
Yeah,
like,
none of it.
I like the one where Jada's like, Tupac would have shot him, and she giving that face like.
That one took me out too.
Because that was one of the first ones.
First ones.
Like, it was like, and I'm talking about like
that was like
within
early.
An hour.
Yes.
Within an hour of this all thing happening. So
that one got me.
That was huge.
The Jussie he slapped me too got me. The one where they put Will's face on the one I posted on the actual feed with Lawrence Fishburne, but it's the Will Smith face from the that I was like, you know what? I'm done with the fucking internet. I'm logging off.
I love it.
Like, I can't take this anymore. And then all the ones talking about like the reinterpreting the Fresh Prince song with like now I'm like, tell you why I slapped him because my wife got no hair or something like that. I was like, oh my God, like this is too much for me.
Although Fizz sent me one today that took me out, and it was like, and Chris Rock was me bent over, my ass bent over every time, and it's Will Smith was me smacking my husband's ass every time he's bent over.
You saw the one too that I posted where it had Will Smith smacking Beyonce's ass in that dope ass guy.
Yes,
I didn't see that.
I saw that
thing. I died, but that one took me out because like Fizz. I'm always touching Fizz butt. I be. The boy, like he gets up grabbing his booty hole because I just be like, I am that person. I'm like, so just get up.
Corey be doing that shit to me too. Sometimes I like it. Sometimes I'm like, not now. Like, leave me the fuck alone.
I don't even want it, but I just like.
Right.
I do feel like the slap meme has now like cemented as part of the collection of the iconic memes of all time. Like, you know, the black girl doing this.
Absolutely.
You know, like Michael Jordan crying. You know, like in the Hall of Fame of memes.
We're gonna see that.
This is gonna be the one that continues to live on forever.
Oh, I like the one too. Corey Craig, the black DJ from like Kafko and all that stuff. I like the one too. They did the Men in Black song, and there was the smack for the claps. The dude, and Bill's like dancing, and then every time it was like, I was like, I'm done. So
my cousin took me out because she literally changed her Facebook profile picture to Will Smith being like the forgot to slap, because you know in Men in Black when they do the memory.
Too much.
I said slap what? I said you better stop.
Well,
hey Jada.
Hey Jada, right.
Hopefully this won't be
my cousin name. No, that's my cousin name. My cousin name is Jada too.
Died.
I can't wait till this red table talk. Shit, we thought the entanglement was it. Woo! This is about to be a good ass conversation.
It's gonna be another. It's gonna be another meme of Will Smith crying again, like the last time.
Honey, Jada probably like, bitch, why you didn't shoot him? Why didn't you punch him? Right. We saw who run that household.
Facts.
If you didn't know, now you know.
There was one that was like, Will Smith when somebody's when his wife is in an entanglement and he's like crying, and then Will Smith when somebody's talking about her alopecia and he's slapping him.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, facts is facts.
Facts is facts.
But I mean, like, but you know, here's my funny thing though. Here's the funny thing to me though is like, I honestly wouldn't be as mad. Like if I know my partner coming home to me, like I wouldn't be as mad as that because that's my partner doing what they want to do. Yeah. You know, but because that's not disrespect. That's my partner living.
That's our agreement. That's what we're
right. Exactly. I would never have been mad at the entanglement if that's our agreement because that is something that we agreed upon. So I agree. Some of the people would be like, well, why aren't you slapping August? You know, like that one. Like, well, they agreed on it. That's how they live their life. Like that is the green light. You know. Can we coin the term?
Go ahead.
Can we coin the term enslapment?
Yep.
Can we coin that?
That's revelation. That's period.
Exactly. We're no longer talking about entanglement. We're talking about enslapment.
Right. They said Will Smith's marriage is open to everything except jokes.
And on that note,
and don't wash your hands on your ass.
Hi, y'all.
Hi, everybody.
That might be the one that took me out the most. I was like, "Ooh, damn, you right."
That is funny.
Oh, God. Everything but jokes.
Black people will read you to film.
Bitch.
Oh my God!
Like we took a crazy ass moment, and that's why I said white people just stay out of it because the way we handle this, we know it's wrong. But we have our own method of handling this. This shit ain't gonna happen no more.
Yeah.
Like it ain't gonna happen. We're not gonna condone it, but we got our methods.
And I just don't like seeing a whole bunch of especially a whole bunch of white women chiming in. Like, y'all got y'all own damn issues. Why don't you be up in arms about you can't have an abortion or not?
Ain't y'all like the first 48 all the damn time? Like,
damn,
clearly.
Get the hell out of here.
Well, they only on there because they white.
That's what I mean.
Because no. I'm talking about like as far as attention because they ain't giving us that attention.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
You're right on that.
So stay in your lane. This ain't got nothing to do with you. If you are triggered by this, but you ain't triggered by all the other shit that's going on, then I don't have it. Then you need to go. You got to go somewhere. But you can't stay here because we ain't having that conversation.
You gotta get the hell up out of here.
I ain't got the time, right? We ain't got the time now. Right. We done.
Don't you get caught up in it and slapping that. Look, you want to be traumatized? You so triggered? I'll give you something to be triggered about.
You know what's so funny is the I love the fact that my social media people, like people who follow me on social media, know me because I said what I said, and I got so few likes because people already knew do not engage because I fight. They already knew. Jerrell said what he said. I ain't gonna say nothing to him because of the fact that she gonna slap the fuck out of me.
But like, look at Henny up there up on stage slapping people. that would be Dawon as our reaction. Like, it is what it is.
I mean, look, I forgot what TV show this was, but there was this meme of like it was like at a party, and it's like this white dude slapping a bunch of people. And he was like, he like slapped the mama, he slapped the children, he was like slapping the police officers. I forget I have to find it, but I'm telling you, like, dude slapped like 19 people at this party, like the grandpa, like he was just slapping motherfuckers.
I need to see like a meme or a gif of somebody imposing Will Smith on Charm School. Like that's what I need to see. Yeah. You remember Charm School? With,
yes,
with absolutely. What's her face?
Yeah, with
she needs to be on Charm School.
Or Monique was Monique.
Monique, yeah, Monique was the host of that.
Yeah. No, I need to see the picture of him. What's the name with his face and the whole being like, let it out, let it out.
Wait, what's that one? I don't know.
Iyanla with the guys facing the hole. Screaming to the hole.
He's like, screaming to the hole.
Just let it out. Look, show Will Smith smacking Chris Rock, and then cut to that guy that does that crying.
That would be so funny. That's the one I should have seen.
Oh man. What did the five fingers say to the face? Oh man. But we
love
right.
This is why we got to figure out. This is why we got to keep up. We got to get our Patreon up so we can, like slice and dice the extra spice.
Yeah. So let's for real end on that one.
Community, have a good one.
Bye y'all. Bye y'all. For real.